we all need to talk about one of Netflix's most underrated shows. Actually, scratch that. The most, in my opinion, underrated show on Netflix. Hilda. The amount of people that I have seen talking about this show is minuscule, so tiny. I see nobody talking about it. I started watching Hilda in grade 3, and man, I fell in love with it. I watched the full intro every time, not skipping it, cherishing it because I didn't know what rewatching a show meant. Later, I had a friend. Duh, I'm not that lonely, guys. I'm not that lonely. I had a whole singular friend, okay? And, well, yeah, he was my only friend, and we spent a lot of our time together since we were both only friends with each other. So I told him about Hilda, and after he watched it, he loved it just as much as I did. And when I actually told him about it, season 2 was just about to come out in a month or two. So man, season 2 was amazing. It was, I would say, it's about equal to season 1. So why is it so underrated? Well, I think the main part of it is the low marketing. How many times have you seen an actual ad, like on your TV or like on a billboard? I don't live in New York. I don't know what those billboards look like. I'm guessing maybe a couple times, maybe a lot depending on your cookies thing. I don't know. Basically glorified viruses. Ooh. So it had a very low budget for promotion, and not to mention the trailers and promotions that weren't released even that close in comparison to other shows. Some shows are advertised like months before. Hilda was advertised like three to 5 days before the new season came out. No one's gonna be talking about that in that time. One thing that I've seen when I was researching this is actually it had a pretty slow release schedule, but not for me, because I saw Hilda, and then season 2 came out, and I was like, wow. But I guess compared to the first and second season, the wait, which was about a little over 2 years, I think, like 2 years and 3 months. And then when season 2 came out, I became a little more conscious human being, and then I waited 3 years. 3 years for season 3. So I would assume that a lot of people just forgot about the show during that time. I mean, there is shows that I used to watch, and then I just grew up, and I was like, well, new season came out. It's been 5 years, but I don't want to watch anymore because I forgot about it. So that could happen. Now, something I do really like about Hilda is that no matter what age, it is a great show. As a young child, I liked it because of all the characters and the world that they lived in. I often imagined living in Trollberg, okay? Just don't judge me. I was young, little guy. Even after watching 5+ years of watching Hilda, I would still love to rewatch Hilda to this day. I just don't have the time anymore. But it is on my New Year's resolution. I gotta be rewatching Hilda. So even though it was being marketed as a children's show and the art style was of a children's show, some adults and teenagers just didn't get around to watch it because they thought it was too childish. Which, can we not do that to some things? Like, I get like a 40-year-old can't go into like a bouncy castle with 2-year-olds. That's just weird. But if it's like a TV show or even like a video game, I say that it could be around for all ages. There shouldn't has to be if you're 40 and watching freaking Bluey, then you're no, you're fine. I don't think it should be that much in that sense, unless it's like you're not hurting anybody by watching Hilda if you're a 30-year-old. There's nothing wrong with that. I do wish it was like a Bluey situation where all ages get to enjoy as before. But because the marketing didn't have a high budget and didn't get around to less people, so less people couldn't really try it out and then share to other people, and then that turn blew it up, like Bluey. Like how adults can watch Bluey. So how about y'all watch Hilda? Because Hilda's better, I think. I haven't seen Bluey. Bluey's like for like toddlers, I think. One thing is that it was a bit of a niche idea compared to other TV shows. It had some pretty slow pacing, and it was less action-paced compared to other children's TV shows. Or adults, whatever you say. That's why it's so good. I love this show because of that. I'm tired of all this constant overstimulation, and having a slow show like Hilda was great. Another side note is that when I was doing the research for why it wasn't that popular, The Owl House and Gravity Falls were it's like the top 2 most shows like Hilda, and that is agreeable. I get the same vibes from them. It's not like Hilda for me is better than both of them, in my opinion, but they also were way more popular than Hilda, even though they're very popular. So I do get it that Hilda maybe wouldn't have been pushed out as much because it was also a Netflix show, and Mars people prefer a lot of action nowadays. But in Hilda's defense, there's not an underlying plot in the whole show, I think. So the slow pacing is a break compared to most media now. Sorry, back to back in Hilda's defense. That's not what the creator wanted. What if Luke Pearson doesn't want an overstimulating show? Have y'all thought about that before? Now that we've talked about it not being popular, how could it be underrated? How about it just saying, oh, it's just not popular compared to underrated? You have to be still a good show to be given the title underrated. You can make the worst song ever and then have 2 plays, but it can't be considered underrated because it's not a good song. Well, I think it's because of the coziness and the story. For me, Hilda is a giant comfort show. Even though I've made way more the Owl House edits and other shows, Hilda is still my favorite show of all time. It beats Owl House by so much. It's just so beautiful. The soundtrack, amazing. The songs, beautiful. Some of the songs I actually do listen to today. Sometimes I re-listen to the soundtrack whenever I want to feel something other than the reminder of how messed up this world is sometimes. But I think the animation and characters are why I got into the show in the first place. Hilda, the main character, is everything I want to be. Brave. But, no, I'm not that kind of. I would say I'm more relating to Frida because she's a bit of an overachiever, and David, because he's scared of everything. And not in season 3, I don't think. I think in season 3 he got over it, but, I haven't gone over it. Since most of the characters in the show are relatable, I think that's another reason why when people like this show, they like this show. They stick with it in a dedicated fan base. The animation is beautiful for me. I like the animation because it's more rounded and soft. And to me, that brings out the coziness and uniqueness of it. It makes it feel like fall and winter vibes. And those are the most cozy seasons. Like right now I'm recording this, it's winter. I should probably watch Hilda because in the spring and summer, Hilda's not a spring summer show in my opinion. You know what? Maybe with lunch I'll rewatch Hilda. Actually, you know what? I'll be doing that. I don't care. I don't give a crap. I really want to watch it again. Anyways, let's talk about Hilda and the Mountain King. Just like the show, amazing. My second favorite movie. And it held that title for a while. Until a couple months ago when I saw Interstellar. Interstellar's a really good movie, I have to say. So, basically, Hilda and the Mountain King is Hilda. Can't spoil it for y'all because y'all got to see it. But it's basically Hilda just with a more underlying plot. And one of the songs from the movie, it's called When I Can't Sleep by Pascal Pinion, is so good. I listened to it so many times. It actually got on my Spotify Wrapped in my top 50. Okay? Like, some of the songs I really liked, but this one, it's very good, and it's nice for me to just chillax. So, I don't want to spoil most of the show and talk about it, because if you haven't seen it, go watch it. What are you doing with your life? So, it's so great, and I love it, and it's a hidden gem in Netflix's library of new shows. So, thanks for you guys listening to me ramble about my favorite show of a girl with blue haircut. See you guys in the next video.